So, welcome back to another episode of the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast, a podcast about mental health, suicide prevention and neurodiversity. If you're not already, don't forget to like and subscribe at DCC MHSP and give us a follow as well. Today we're chatting to Ivy about ADHD, mental health and just general lived experience of it all. So Ivy, if you won't mind, just starting off by letting us know how you're doing out of 10.
I'd say an 8.
That's strong.
Yeah.
That is strong. I like that. That's good. Wow. Yeah. Normally people come in at like 5 or 6, so I'm really happy with that.
Do they?
Yeah.
No,
that's so good.
okay.
Oh, man.
Getting
Lovely.
there.
Good. And start us off, give us a bit of an introduction, just, a bit about you, who you are, and,
So, I'm 26, originally from Manchester, Stockport, if anyone knows Stockport. I lived in Buxton for 2 years with my mum, and I have ADHD. I got recently diagnosed. I got diagnosed last week with ADHD. Wow. Even though I've known I've had it for a long time. Big shock, but not really, but it also kind of is,
That's nice. How have you found living in Buxton?
It's good.
Good? Yeah, enjoying it?
I like it.
Yeah. No, it's nice, isn't it?
A lot of hills, though.
Yeah. When, when ddid you notice that you may have ADHD? Was it like a child or? From about the age of, I'd say as young as 6 or 7, Yeah. As young as that, even though obviously I didn't know ADHD was a thing when I was a kid. But when I look back, I'm like, it was so obvious with me. Yeah. And my mum said that's when she knew I had it. Wow.
Because that's when I started skin picking and all that stuff. And then, it was when I got to around college age, that's when I really started to, know I had it, really. Because I struggled with the work and things. So all through school as well, but it was college that I really went downhill with it.
What were some of those things you noticed, I guess, or struggled with, if you can remember?
It was the work. As stupid as it sounds, I know everyone struggles with work, but I really struggled. So in my class, there was about 30 of us, and I was the last one to finish the course. So I finished weeks after everyone else because I just couldn't sit still and type on the laptop or anything. I'd just start talking to people, and I was so aware that I was doing it, but I just couldn't stop. And my teachers were always going mental at me and saying, "You're never going to pass this course because you can't stop talking."
Any other, signs that you noticed outside of school or college that you were found hard or?
It was. I think I've just always been an emotional person. But then obviously everyone thinks of women, they're emotional. It's the stereotype. But with me, I knew I was different in a way. So I've heard of that rejection sensitivity thing. Sensitivity. And oh my God, when I heard about that, that's when I was I have ADHD. I knew it because I'm so sensitive to criticism. So everywhere I've ever worked, if they've said, "Oh, you've done this wrong," I would cry so much, even though they'd be so nice about it. I'd be having a full-on breakdown and just leave the job and not go back.
I guess for anyone who doesn't know, so rejection sensitivity it's really linked with ADHD, and it's around so if small things, or for me it's when I have a conversation with someone, especially in meetings at work, I'll leave that meeting and overthink everything I've said, or if I've said something and noticed I've pulled a weird face, and then you go in overdrive, don't you? You think about it probably for weeks or days on end, and it is much more to that. It's I don't know, I think people are always thinking negatively of me, or I need to try and achieve more, strive harder to catch up. It's really hard, isn't it,
it is
balance the emotions, I think.
It is, because you try and hide it as well, because you don't want people to think you're a liability. There's also that as well. There's also the shame of having emotions, especially for me, I've been told my whole life, I'm too sensitive, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too much, but I'm I can't help it. I understand I actually cannot help it, and it's just who I am.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean? And I think now I do find it easier, and I am more accepting of myself with it because I've got a really supportive partner.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I think that changes everything, and like my friends are so supportive as well.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it? I guess, yeah, when you were growing up, obviously you've only just got a diagnosis now. What was it like before that? Did you, I don't know, did you just put like self-blame on yourself, or was, I don't know, did you think, oh no, I must have ADHD, or?
I don't know, like, as stupid as it sounds, there was a period in my life where I actually believed ADHD wasn't real.
Yeah.
And looking back at it now, I'm like, what? Of course it's real, but I think it was because deep down I knew I had it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to accept it, sort of thing. Yeah. But it wasn't till I was about 20, I really started to understand it. But like, I've had symptoms my whole life, obviously, but like, the main things for me was the nail biting and the skin picking and the eyelash picking, hence why my eyelashes are so big. Because people always ask me, they're always like, oh, you don't need to wear eyelashes and stuff, but they don't understand it's because I pick my hair. And I know a lot of people with ADHD do have that. Like, I've had people on TikTok messaging me and asking me for advice on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because I've spoke about it before. Because cool. I know there's like a lot of shame with that. There shouldn't be.
No.
But, you know, people don't want to reach out for help because people will be like, oh, you can just stop and things. You can't. Well, you can, but
it's hard, isn't it?
It's not as easy as people make out. And like, I've been doing that since I was 12 and I'm 26. It's like an anxious thing.
100%.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that as well because I never see it being spoken about.
No.
Not really.
No. There's so many, little, I guess, niche things with ADHD. And I think that's what makes it so unique is, you know, before it was just like naughty boy syndrome, wasn't it? And I think the stigma attached to that. So
that is exactly what I used to think, though. I used to think, oh no, it's just naughty little kids, but it's really not.
No.
Or like, you know, when I've told people about it before, I think they just look at me and think, well, you don't have ADHD because you're like, I look normal, whatever normal is.
Yeah, I still think there's a lot of, you know, stigma and misunderstanding around it. And it is, you know, so much more, you know, there's, you know, lots of links to other hardships around it that people don't know about. What... I guess what did you put in place before you got diagnosed to try and help you, or didn't you? Was it just in terms of like just masking and trying to just get through it sort of thing?
It was just masking really. I mean, I've had people say it to me in the past, but I just brushed it off kind of. I think the revelation for me was when like my mental health got so bad, I actually ended up in A&E. I never thought I would end up like that, but I was just so angry at everything. And I don't know, it sounds really bad, but I was like smashing doors and everything. I was just so angry. And I think it was because I was like pretending to be someone I wasn't. And I was holding all my emotions in until I got home, and then it all just come out. So I ended up going to the hospital, and that's when one of the nurses said, have you ever been assessed for ADHD? Because I'm sure you have it. Because she said, oh, my daughter's got it and you are very much like her.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I thought, well, if a nurse in the hospital is saying it, I'm going to definitely look into it now, you know.
What was it like when your mental health got bad? You know, there's a big association with poor mental health and ADHD. So not knowing you've got ADHD, but then just experiencing really bad mental health, obviously lots of anger and stuff. How was it and how did it present? Was it just anger or what? What was it like?
It was like a mixture of emotions. I think it's because I was going through a lot at the time as well. Like, you know, I've got a horrible dad basically. And like when I was growing up, it was sort of not a really stable childhood. So there was all that emotion in me anyway from my childhood and my teenagehood, and then like I thought it was just emotions from that. And I think I do believe that women experience it differently to men. You know, just because like we are wired differently anyway. Hormones and all that sort of thing. So I think it gets more overlooked with women because people just think, oh, you know, it's that time of the month or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it gets more overlooked, the emotional side, I think. People just assume, oh, you're just a woman.
Yeah,
I've had that before. You know, people say that to me.
Yeah, it must be really.
Females are always emotional, and I'm like, no, this is so much more. Like, all my friends are absolutely fine over this one situation, and I am sobbing and I am fuming. Like, what is that about?
What's happening? That must be really difficult.
Yeah.
What did you find helpful, I guess, when your mental health was bad? Was there anything that helped, or were you still trying to, I guess, work through it yourself? It sounds really, I guess,
No,
hard.
I know what you mean. I think sort of both. Like, I feel like because I do understand myself so well, especially now, I could just pull myself out of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like after like having a cry and stuff, that would help rather than holding stuff in. Whenever I used to hold stuff in, it made me worse. A lot worse. And then bigger emotions would come from that. And then more sort of angry emotions would come from that. But I think it's just because I didn't understand myself at the time.
Do you feel like that probably had a knock-on effect at school as well and stuff without you knowing?
I mean, like in school, I wasn't really like naughty necessarily, but I was always being told I was either daydreaming or I was talking too much. I really struggle with like having my uniform on all day. I found it so itchy. And you know, the lights always being too bright, or there was always too much noise, or like sometimes I couldn't even look at the whiteboard and copy the work because it'd be hurting my eyes. But then I look around and be like, well, everyone else is fine. So why can't I do it? You know what I mean?
That's really tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once, I guess, leaving school, leaving college, what were those next steps for you, and how did you find it? I guess a lot of people say they find it really difficult transitioning from like college into like work or whatever. Yeah,
I found that really difficult. Really, really difficult. I found the transition from school to college difficult as well, to be fair. Like college was a big struggle, and then after that, I had so much doubt in myself because I saw everybody else how they could live normally, and they went on to get jobs and you know, doing the 9 to 5, and then I was like sort of floating about, like not knowing what to do with myself, to be honest. Like I just kind of went off the rails with it because I was like, I don't know what to do. I had no confidence in myself. I felt like I had no abilities or anything because the teachers didn't really understand me. So there was nothing really to help me transition, if you know what I mean.
That must have been really hard, having that lack of confidence, but then no one to, I guess, build it up and guide you. Knowing where to go.
I had one really good teacher, to be fair, but she wasn't there for that long. But she really helped me do the work and things. But then, like I say, I went on to work in like cafes and stuff, just jobs that I thought were like easy. They weren't. They were not. Like, you know, I have so much respect to people that can do that, especially people that are neurodivergent, because it's hard. Honestly, like, it sounds funny, but I got fired from a few places I used to work at because I was so clumsy. Or like they used to think, you're not listening, you know, because they'd be like, we'll take that order to this person. And it would just go in one ear out the other. And I'm like, I don't know. I really struggled with that sort of work and all the noises. Like someone would say, can I have a coffee? And because I could hear the coffee machine in the background, I'm like, what did you just say?
How did it impact your mental health and stuff? You know, those downfalls and stuff must have been quite tricky for you. What was the impact for you?
So I ended up, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I actually gave up all that. I was like, right, this isn't for me, this line of work, and I actually have my own dog walking business.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what, I love animals, I love dogs. I had a dog myself. And I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And I created my own business online.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was the best time of my life. It was the best thing I ever did. I don't do it anymore.
Oh, why?
Basically because when I was doing it, I lived in Stockport still. I lived with my ex-boyfriend. So then when I moved up to Buxton with my mum, when I broke up with him, I had to sack the business. And that was heartbreaking.
Your mental health before that then, like I think, losing jobs or struggling in jobs is really hard. And I've experienced it, and you just feel like worthless, don't you? Like,
you do.
How can everyone else do it and I can't?
Oh, I know. I did used to think that, and like there were so many times I had rude customers.
Yeah, what helped you get through it all? I guess, like, was it just life and you just got to get through it all?
Yeah, I think like shout out to my mum because she is so supportive. Like she has always had my back through everything, and you know nothing's ever been too dramatic for her. I've gone to her so many times crying, thinking I'm being too much. You know, no one understands me. But then my mum, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna cry because she's just the best.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah,
little power team getting through it all.
Yeah, like if I didn't have my mum, I wouldn't have coped.
Yeah.
With any of it, because as she said to me that she always had a feeling I had ADHD, so I think that's why she was so understanding of me too.
Yeah,
she's the best.
That's nice. I love that. What what I guess were the bad times like then in terms of your mental health? Like, how did it come out? How did it look? And then what gave you the encouragement to go and get tested again?
So it was like, I think what made me really want to get tested was when I was getting really angry with like really stupid things. Yeah. You know, just dropping something on the floor and my day would be ruined. And I thought, right, come on, Ivy, like you need to sort this out now.
So what was the experience like of getting diagnosed? So you went to your GP. What did it look like for you after that?
So after they just said, I might be waiting for about 9 months or something. And to be fair, it was like spot on 9 months. And then I can't remember what they were called. My memory's shocking, but they basically sent me some questionnaires to fill in. It was quite a lot. It was a lot of pages and the questions were very intense, but it was good to get things off my chest. So they'd ask you about stuff I didn't think that they'd ask, like what traumatic experiences have you had in your life? They ask you things like that and I didn't know that.
How did it make you feel filling the form out? Was it quite
it was all right.
Relief?
I weirdly in a way I quite enjoyed it. Like I thought I'd hate it because I'm not good with stuff like that at all, but I actually managed to do it all in one day and send it off, which is not like me. But I think it's because I was so desperate to get it done as well.
That hyper focus of just smashing it out.
It was the hyper focus. I remember being on my laptop and I was like, I've not even blinked. It seems like I'm just so focused on this. And my mum kept saying,
really good. What were those next steps after being diagnosed? Have you, because I think sometimes you have like counselling, medication, or
I've not done any of that yet.
No,
I'm not sure what I want to do. Genuinely don't know.
It's got to do what's right for you. And I think that's nice that you're giving yourself time to just process it all.
Because I think you know it's quite hard, really. You know, even though I knew that I had ADHD, it's like been confirmed to me that I'm going to be like this my whole life, and that's really hard.
What has it been like to process it? Like, have you noticed a change in anything, or has anyone else commented on?
No, I've not told a lot of people actually. I've only told a few people, like the people really closest to me, because I feel like there's still people that automatically think. I don't know. I feel like people will look at me and think I don't have it, and I don't want that. No. Do you know what I mean? I don't want the judgment and stuff. But then at the same time, I also don't care. I don't know. It's difficult. It is. I think it's linked to as well. I think the like rejection sensitivity stuff that you think people are just gonna know you've got ADHD and push back. Like, this is the first job that I've ever told people about my ADHD, and before that I wouldn't like tell a soul, and like you just feel so scared about telling people that they're just gonna, I don't know, like judge you for it and stuff. Exactly. And I don't want people to think that I've been, I don't know. I just think people don't understand it fully, and that's not people's fault though.
No. I guess, what have you found that helps you? You know, you've got a really good support network. Has there been anything else that's just helped you be you?
Do you know what? I'm really not sure. I feel like the only thing I can say, but it's really generic, but it's just going out for walks. Like, honestly, because I've got a dog, so that helps me to go out. But I know when I'm feeling overwhelmed and when I'm shaking, I need to just get out the house, honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for everyone, and I know it's hard because sometimes I really do have to force myself.
Yeah.
But I feel so much better because I feel like it's the burst of energy sometimes that makes us feel emotional. It's because we have that much energy. So burning it off by going for a walk is great.
Yeah.
It really helps.
Yeah, it's really calming as well, I think, isn't it? Just being outside and like having the fresh air and
and it is
slows my brain down, I think, a bit as well.
Same, because sometimes I'll go out with no earphones as well and just listen to the sounds of the birds and the water. It sounds so stupid, but my God, it helps. That's the only thing that really pulls me out of it as well. That I've found other stuff. I've tried writing things down, but for me, it don't work.
No, it doesn't work for me if I find, just getting out and going for a walk is just mint, innit?
Definitely, and like, everyone says that, but it's true. It helps.
No, that's great.
I'm just grateful I've got a dog, because I feel like if I didn't, I wouldn't do it as much.
Yeah.
Because it's like seeing how happy he is when I take him for a walk and he's like, yeah, let's go. And it's like so nice. Mutual happiness. Like.
So, thank you, Ivy, for just sharing your story. It's been really interesting, I guess, to hear your experience from being younger and then literally only, just recently being diagnosed. So it's great to hear that. We'll definitely get you back on, I think, and we can hear how your journey's continued from being diagnosed and what it's looked like for you. So thank you for everyone listening. We've popped some information in the description with some good links in terms of diagnosis, support information, self-help guide and stuff. And like I mentioned at the start, if you've not already, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you've been listening to the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast. Thank you.